Hello everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. I'm Dr. S.K. Singh, and I'm delighted to have you here. Today, we'll be exploring a fascinating topic, why herbal medicines take longer to work. Over the next few minutes, we'll look into the reasons behind this delay and understand how herbal treatments differ from conventional medicines. So, let's get started and uncover the science behind herbal remedies and their unique characteristics. Welcome to our next topic. Today, we're talking about herbal medicines, which are derived from plant sources. These natural remedies have been used for centuries across various traditional systems. For example, in Ayurveda, herbs are a fundamental part of healing practices, and similarly, traditional Chinese medicine relies heavily on herbal formulations. What makes herbal medicines particularly interesting is their holistic approach. They often promote overall well-being and tend to have gradual therapeutic effects. Unlike some modern pharmaceuticals that target specific symptoms quickly, herbal remedies work more gently over time, supporting the body's natural healing processes. It's also important to recognize that herbal medicines are often compared with modern drugs, but they differ significantly in their origin, approach, and effects. Throughout this presentation, we'll explore how these traditional remedies fit into today's health landscape and their potential benefits and challenges. Let's take a closer look at how modern drugs differ from herbal medicines. Synthetic drugs usually contain a single active ingredient, which means they are designed to target a specific molecule or pathway in the body. This makes them very precise in their action. In contrast, herbal medicines contain multiple phytochemicals, or plant compounds, that work together in a more complex way. This multi-target mechanism means that herbal medicines often produce effects that are broader and may take a bit longer to become noticeable. So, while synthetic drugs are quick and targeted, herbal medicines tend to be gentler but with wider, more holistic effects. This difference highlights the unique roles each can play in health management. Now, let's take a closer look at the complex phytochemical composition of herbs. Herbs contain a variety of active compounds, each with their own unique properties. Some of the key groups include alkaloids, flavonoids, terpenoids, and glycosides. Each of these compounds has a mild activity on its own, meaning they can subtly influence our body's systems. But what's really fascinating is how these compounds work together. When combined, they often produce a synergistic effect, which means their overall impact is greater than the sum of their individual actions. This synergy develops over time, enhancing the herb's therapeutic potential. Understanding this complex mix helps us appreciate the nuanced ways herbs support health and why their effects can be so profound over consistent use. Let's talk about the lower concentration of active compounds in herbal medicines. As you can see, the active constituents are present in relatively low amounts compared to purified drugs. This often means that the potency per dose is lower, so you might need to take repeated doses to reach a therapeutic level. Now, this brings us to an important concept: synergy. The efficacy of herbs doesn't rely on just one compound, but on multiple compounds working together. This synergy can actually enhance each other's activity, making the overall effect greater than the sum of individual parts. Additionally, these multiple compounds can help reduce toxicity, which is a big advantage. However, it's worth noting that achieving this synergistic effect can take some time, as it requires the compounds to build up and interact effectively. So, even though individual compounds might be present at low levels, their combined, synergistic action can be quite powerful and beneficial in herbal therapy. Let's delve into the mechanism of action of herbal medicines. Often, these remedies work by modulating various body systems, helping to restore balance rather than just addressing immediate symptoms. This means they support the body's natural healing processes and aim at long-term wellness. Because of this approach, you won't typically see instant relief right away, but rather a gradual correction of underlying imbalances that may be causing health issues. Now, when we consider pharmacokinetics factors, things get a bit more nuanced. Herbal medicines usually have slower absorption, meaning it takes more time for the active compounds to enter the bloodstream. From there, they undergo gradual distribution throughout the body, reaching their target sites more slowly than conventional drugs. Plus, their complex metabolism can lead to a delayed onset of action. All these factors are important because they help us understand why herbal treatments often require patience and consistent use. They work differently than many pharmaceuticals, emphasizing balance and natural processes over quick fixes. This aligns perfectly with the overall theme of herbal medicine, supporting the body's innate ability to heal itself over time. Let's talk about the gradual therapeutic buildup. What this means is that the effects of herbal compounds tend to accumulate over time, so patience is key. It's important to remember that consistent dosing and long-term use are typically required to see meaningful results. This approach is especially common in managing chronic conditions, where steady, ongoing treatment is essential. Now, a big challenge we face with many herbal compounds is bioavailability. Many of these compounds have poor solubility, which means they don't dissolve easily in our bodies, leading to low absorption. For example, curcumin, the active component in turmeric, has notoriously low absorption rates. So, it often takes time or the use of specific enhancers to actually notice its effects. Understanding these concepts helps us set realistic expectations and develop better strategies for using herbal medicines effectively over the long term. Let's talk about some of the challenges we face with standardization. One major issue is variability, which can stem from several factors. For example, the plant source itself can differ, depending on where and how it's grown. Harvesting conditions, such as climate and soil quality, can also impact the raw material. Additionally, the methods used to extract the active compounds vary, leading to inconsistencies in potency. All of these factors combined can make it difficult to ensure each batch has the same strength and effectiveness. Now, this variability doesn't just affect potency, it also influences how quickly the product acts, what we call the onset time. So, even if you're using the same product, the effects might kick in sooner or later depending on these factors. But that's not all. Individual variability plays a huge role too. People's responses depend on their age, metabolism, overall health condition, and lifestyle choices. These personal differences mean that even if the product is perfectly standardized, each person might respond differently. This personal variability can delay achieving uniform outcomes across different users. In essence, both product consistency and individual factors contribute to the challenges we face in delivering predictable, reliable results. That's why understanding and managing these issues is crucial as we work towards more personalized and effective solutions. Let's talk about the trade-off between safety and speed when it comes to different types of medicines. Herbal medicines, for example, are generally considered safer. They tend to have lower side effects, which makes them a more gentle option for many people. On the other hand, synthetic drugs are known for their faster action, which can be very beneficial when quick relief is needed. However, this speed often comes with a higher risk of adverse effects. This brings us to an important point. Often, the slower the action of a medication, the safer it tends to be. It's a balancing act, choosing between a rapid response and a lower risk profile. This is a key consideration in medicine choices, especially in the context of overall treatment safety and effectiveness. So, understanding this trade-off helps us make better, more informed decisions about the medicines we use. Let's take a moment to review the scientific summary of this system. First, it's a multi-component system, meaning it involves several different elements working together. This complexity often allows for more nuanced effects, but also requires a deeper understanding of how all components interact. Next, notice the system contains a low concentration of actives. This is significant because it suggests that even small amounts of these active ingredients can have meaningful effects when properly formulated. It's about quality and synergy rather than just quantity. Moving on, the pharmacokinetics are slow, which means the system takes time to deliver its effects. This isn't an instant fix. Instead, it requires patience, as the body gradually absorbs and responds to the actives. This slow process contributes to the system modulating effects. In other words, It can influence or regulate biological processes over time, rather than providing immediate results. Finally, because of this gradual action, it requires some time for the full efficacy to be realized. This emphasizes the importance of consistent use and understanding that results may become more evident over a longer period. Overall, these points highlight how this system works in a balanced, sustained manner, aligning with our theme of delivering effective, long-term benefits through a thoughtful, multifaceted approach. And here we come to the conclusion. As we've discussed, herbal medicines tend to act slowly, but in a very holistic way. This means they work gradually, addressing multiple aspects of health simultaneously. Because of this, they are particularly suitable for long-term management of health conditions, helping to build resilience over time. Scientific research actually supports this delayed onset, showing that the benefits often become more evident with consistent use over an extended period. Of course, proper usage is key. Following the recommended dosages and guidelines ensures we get the most effective and safe results. When used correctly, herbal medicines can provide optimal benefits, working with your body's natural processes. So, keeping these points in mind helps us appreciate how herbal therapies fit into a balanced, thoughtful approach to health care. For further support, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to help and provide any additional information you might need. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. Remember, we're committed to assisting you on this journey, so feel free to contact us whenever you need. Once again, thank you, and we look forward to working with you.